You will show us how you removed the tables?
It was easy. If you look on your keyboard, next to it's right on the corner between insert and end. There's a key mark delete. Just press it.
Oh.
Was that not the right way to do it? Okay. Let's go through this. Okay, so what I'd like to cover off then is the tablelessness local inference. And if we've got time at the end, I'd like to go over some of the ideas around handling anticipation as a task within the concept. At this stage, it's just some ideas to discuss. I think there may be some holes in my thinking, and it'd be useful for you to point where those are out, Patrick, as well. And it may well be that we find another way of doing this as well, but at least this may be one route that we could take if we can't find anything more appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
So, local inference. I have actually added a path for all the task types, including anticipation, actually, funnily enough, which we'll talk about on the next section. But let's begin with quest, as it's kind of the simplest one to deal with. The assumption here is that for some reason, I think quest was handled slightly differently to, say, questions. I know the process was the same, but I don't remember there being a table of quests in a concept.
I think they were mixed into the same array.
Oh, they were all in question, were they? Oh, okay, fine, all right, fair enough. Well, I get they're all mixed in again, to be honest. So what we have now is all the tables have gone. So there's no truth table, no desire table, no question table or quest table. They've gone completely, and everything is handled within the task link bag. So from the point of view of a quest, if a quest comes into local inference, the process is actually very similar to processing any other type of task. We basically we select the best ranked, in this case, because it's a quest, we're going to select the best ranked goal from the task links projected to the task time, which is kind of a common step in all of the task processing. It might be, rather than a goal, it might be a belief, but that's the idea. We add the goal as a solution to task if it exists. We update the budget of the task. If it's a user quest, we output the answer, and we add the task to the task link bag. The bag semantics deals with the adding and deleting and removing low priority, because it is it's a full curve bag, so it will keep the high priority stuff and lose the low priority stuff. So we don't need to worry about managing the adding and deleting. So any questions on that before we move on to the next one?
Oh, no, it's fun.
Okay. The next one is surprisingly similar, except instead of selecting the best ranked goal, we just select the best ranked belief. Other than that, it's exactly the same. There is no difference, yeah. So that will answer all the yes/no type questions. So we won't spend any time on that one. Let's move on to something slightly more interesting now. Belief. Oh, and by the way, Patrick, thank you very much for teaching me this trick with hiding things with Notepad. Okay, so for belief, there's several things going on in here, and we'll come to each of them in turn. So the first step, as always, select the best ranked, in this case, goal from task links projected to task time, because we want to update the goal's budget with a satisfaction value based on the incoming belief. So there's no difference there to what we had before. Next step is we rank all the beliefs in the task links by the confidence projected to the task time. So this is again what we were doing before, except we're just doing it in task links now as opposed to a truth table. We revise the task with all the revisable beliefs in the ranked results. So what we're doing here, we're not actually ranking the task bag. We're filtering out all the beliefs, then we're projecting them, and then we're selecting the best ranked one. So we're not actually changing the order of the bag. It's kind of a filter reduce process. And the same with revise. When we do revision, we end up with a single revised value, i.e. we've revised the belief against all the revisable beliefs that exist within the task link bag. It's possible there are none. If there are none, the result is just a task.
For what was this step then? The ranking? If we
so what we're doing here, we're ranking the beliefs. So basically, you iterate through the task bag, grab all the beliefs, and then project them to the task time. So they're kind of kept as a collection of results, but they're not in the bag at this moment in time. Then we use them for the revision step, and we reduce that down to the final value. So the task revises itself with all the revised beliefs that were in that result set.
But why do we need to rank them? This, I mean, we can just project
because you want to project them to task time. Oh well, that's actually, you're right. They don't need to be ranked. Actually, you're correct. They just need to be projected. Okay, but they need to be a projected collection. You're right. It doesn't actually have to be ranked. Yeah, true. Yeah, good point. Okay, and then we just revise with them based on their projected confidence values. So there may not be any revisable ones, in which case we just return the task that was the input belief.
Nice.
We add the task and the revised task to task links. Then we check to see if the revised task answers any outstanding questions, which was what we were doing before as well.
Nice.
And those questions are inside the task link bag. So everything's in the task link bag. There's two issues here in one sense. In one sense, we're putting a lot of stuff in the task bag that was in lots of separate places. But in some ways, I actually quite like this, because before we had like fixed size limits for belief, for desire, and for questions, irrespective of how important the priority distribution was amongst those things. When they're all in the bag semantics decides what the mix of them should be based on the relevant priorities of each of the different types. So if it's more, exactly. So if it's more important to have goals in the bag at this moment in time, then they will get the space in the bag and they will get the processing at the cost of lower priority beliefs and questions and quests.
This makes it more adaptive.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Now for the fun part, which actually isn't that bad. So very similar process again. We select the best ranked belief from task links projected to task time. And then we update the task budget based on the satisfaction of that best ranked belief. Although there may not be one, in which case it doesn't do the update process, because there may not be any matching beliefs. We then, in fact, same issue here with, we don't need to rank these. We just need to project and collect them like we do in beliefs. So we rank. We collect all the goals in task links and project them to task time. We revise them.
At this point, we should update both the best ranked. We should reward the belief for being useful and punish the goal for being satisfied.
Oh, and update the belief. Yes. Okay. Good point.
All right.
I have an active version over here. Let me just add that. So update belief as well. Yeah. Good point. Right. So the revision down to here, the symmetry between belief and goal is very similar. all the way down until we get to the check operation, which is the only difference really. So that symmetry still applies. So revise, take the best one. If there isn't a revisable one, you pass the task through, add the task and revise to task links. Check to see if the revised task answers any outstanding quests in this case, because it's a goal. We didn't have that step before. Yeah. Then we check for if the goal's an operation, we project to current task time. If the confidence is above threshold, then we execute the best ranked belief, and then we finish.
What? We execute the
best ranked belief.
Shouldn't shouldn't we execute the goal? The revised goal? The result
sorry.
of the revision?
Yeah. What was I thinking there? I don't know why I put that down actually. Yeah, I have no idea where I wrote. Hang on a second. No, because the belief is actually the executable components, because the goal is just something you want to be true, yeah? So the thing that satisfies that is the belief, the matching belief. Well, I suppose it depends. I guess it doesn't actually make any difference because it's just a term. But let me think about this. So the confidence of the task
here it should be the
this is the goal task, yeah, the revised goal task.
Right.
Yeah. So if it passes, then technically we want to execute the goal, but goals themselves aren't actually executable, are they? Or are they?
The operation goals are executable. So if it's an
okay.
operation.
So I thought when the goal was satisfied, it was the belief that satisfied the goal that actually became the thing that was executable.
Oh no.
No. Okay.
There is a belief coming in as feedback. So if the system says, if the system executes, for example, big Coca-Cola, then the system will receive an event saying, I have big Coca-Cola
Yeah,
now.
I understand that. I'm missing the connection between what the belief does then. What's the belief doing?
The belief is only updating the core budget based on the satisfaction.
Okay, but the belief matches the goal, yeah. If it satisfies it. Yeah.
But the thing is, we only want to happen the execution to happen once, and so there could be multiple beliefs which satisfy the goal, but still we only want the execution to happen once on the provided evidence.
I understand that. I agree that the goal is checking against the goal, and it's projecting the goal time. Then it's checking the confidence of the goal. Then if it's okay for the goal to execute, I thought it was actually the matching belief that was actually executed.
But what does it mean to execute a belief? I mean, probably it's just a convention issue here.
Maybe, yeah. I think so. I think you're right. It's just because I consider that a belief is an operation. A goal isn't an operation. A goal is just something you want to be true. But I accept that the reality is that the term that's encapsulated within the goal will be exactly the same one that the belief represents.
Oh yes, I think it's a convention issue because
right. Okay.
The thing is, operations are events which the system can make true whenever it desires to, and so
So they are actually beliefs, is my point. An operation is a belief.
I saw it more as a sort of feedback the system desired to execute, and so it executed the operation, and the result was a feedback event.
Yeah, no, I agree with that bit. I don't have any problem with that. The reason I think there's a question mark here is because the belief may have different metadata to the goal, and that might be relevant. Because if you execute the goal with its metadata and its desire values, you're executing a goal with certain value, but actually the thing that's actually executable in reality is the belief or the operation that the belief represents, and that has a different truth value and maybe a different priority to the goal itself. So what's the goal? Oh, go on.
But at this point, we're not doing anything more anyway. Everything which happens is if this is above threshold,
oh, that's true. You're right. It's just executing. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah, you're right.
Right,
it doesn't actually use any of those things. Yeah.
Right. It's just calling the procedure and then inputting a feedback event.
Okay, I'll leave it for now. It will become relevant in a minute when we start talking about anticipation. Okay. So as you say, I think you're right. It's convention. I think it's the same. Represents the same operation either way. Yeah. Okay. Because it's obviously it's the same content. All right.
Right.
So apart from that, can you see any holes, any issues here?
No, it looks very good, and what I especially like is that it gets simpler every time we revise the design.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is great.
As Jared said, if we keep going, we're going to get to 42 before we know it.
It's like jokes aside, it is so much better seeing this being revised and watching it become more and more concise. It's just such a dream to read this compared to when I first was exposed to OpenNAS.
Well, obviously your knowledge is significantly greater now.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't think we've managed to find a magical solution that can explain this to people who haven't got a clue. I think you still need a lot of background information to understand this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't disagree
do you understand this, Jared? Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, more or less. Really, the only thing for me is a bit of a question mark is like when it says select best ranked goal, belief, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't exactly understand what ranking we're using in each of these instances.
Oh, okay. In all of these cases, actually, it's not always going to be confidence because questions and quests don't have them. Oh yes, no, that's fine. Yeah, I do. In every case, it's the best ranked confidence or the desire equivalent of that.
Okay.
So basically, what it does, it projects each belief or goal to the time of the task. So basically, the difference between the task time and the belief or goal that's being projected reduces the confidence. So the further away it is from the task time, the lower the confidence gets as a result of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it just ranks them by confidence, and it picks the one with the highest confidence. It's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let me bring up the other one. Can you close your eyes a minute? Yeah, I bet you didn't close your eyes, did you?
Give me time. Right. I got one down.
So I will use the notepad just to make it easy to see what's going on, if I can find it again. Oh, where's it going? Oh, I think I closed it, didn't I? Let me... Right, let me just make that a bit... okay, actually, no, forget it. I've put my notes in too many places. Right, so some assumptions. the ideas here are based on the assumption that we have removed the tables and all entries are stored in the task link bag. And the other assumption is that we've created a new task type. So along with goal, belief, quest, and question, we have a new one called an anticipation. I've tentatively given it some punctuation, which is a colon, simply because when we write tensors, we do colon/colon. It was just a placeholder.
My concern with our own task type is that it's not really used for an inference.
No, and it won't go to inference. It never gets to inference. It's really just a way of managing the bag within a concept. And we'll talk about it.
See. Okay.
Yeah.
To distinguish. I see.
Yeah. These are partial flowcharts, and they need to be attached to the ones we've just looked at in various places. Other than this is a complete one. So essentially, an anticipation task is just literally added to the task links. So when you have a predictive event that requires an anticipation, it just adds the task to the task link table. There may be, as I said down here, there may be a hole in my thinking here. I have an assumption here that anticipations always occur in the same concept as the goal. Is that correct?
The anticipation occurs always in what?
In the same concept as the goal that generated the predicted event.
Oh, it's not always a goal which predicts.
Oh, okay. So maybe not a goal, but the predicted event then. Does the anticipation always occur in the same concept as the prediction, or can it be in a different one?
It's always about the content of the predicted event, right? So it's always in the same concept.
Okay, great. Great. Good. I'm glad about that, because I wasn't entirely sure. I thought there might be something I was missing, but that's fine. Right. Okay. So anticipation task just goes into task links. In fact, let's go from where they come from. So in goal, where we have the decision section, on the end of the operation part, let me quickly jump back to that. So here, where we execute this best rank, or where we execute the operation, immediately after that, but before this branch point, so following this box here immediately, we add in this bit. So if it is an observable concept, actually, okay, there's another question mark here. It may be that this isn't the only place that anticipated events come from.
Anticipated events only come from beliefs, from belief events, not from gore events.
Oh, okay. So that bit's wrong then, and I thought it might be, which is why I'm tentative about that. But I guess we could probably do something similar in belief.
I think if you replace start belief with
right. I can't do it here, but I can do it over here. Okay, I can do that. Okay, great.
Right. Then it
and that
work.
can just pretty much fit. So the only question is, in that case, what determines whether it's an anticipated belief?
If the concept it corresponds to is observable.
Yeah,
and,
I got that bit.
And if the occurrence time is about the future.
So if it's it literally is an occurrence time about the future. Oh, okay. So as long as we have that captured in here.
So right. It's confirmable as well as observable.
Okay, great. That's the piece I was missing. So let me just capture that over here quickly. So that needs to be in. I'll put these back on the screen when I've updated them. That's belief, and then we need to add in. Confirmable as well. This is probably like watching paint dry for you guys, isn't it? You can't see what's going on.
Pardon?
Sorry, don't worry. I'm saying because I'm working on the other screen. You can't see what I'm doing, so it must be like watching paint dry. It's an English saying when it's really boring. It's like watching paint dry.
I already thought my monitor froze.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Right, let me just add that to that. Actually, what I can do, but the trouble is, if I change this to the other screen, I think the resolution is a bit too high.
Yeah.
Can you? Too high.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, I'll put it back.
It's okay. I'm watching some grass grow.
Okay. I'll tell you what I can do. I can do this. We can do this. We have technology here. We can do this. It's best to redraw it now because it's a different size.
Hopefully
My
not from
Firefox
scratch.
would have crashed.
Oh no! Oh great. Right, anticipation. So what we need to do, let me just move these down a bit. So this is belief.
Nearly.
Still nearly. Right, and then in here, we want another decision point, which is going to be this was confirmable, wasn't it?
All right. So it's about the future.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's the piece I was missing.
And it's a little detail, but probably we should do the second check first because it's cheaper. But but it's not an issue.
Oh, is it? Actually, okay, I'll fix that later. Yeah. And that's going to go back to, it's going to be no path. Right, so that's kind of easy. So much left to. Oh, I can tidy it up later. Okay, so basically for a belief, this can fit pretty much anywhere in the. You can just go on the end of the flow for beliefs, I guess. It's not a problem there. It's observable and it's confirmable. Then we can then we add an anticipated task for the event to the task link bag. That's as simple as that. Okay. And then when we have a belief coming in as well, so there's the other, that's the generating it, but there's also the testing for it. So when we come into a belief, we select the best ranked anticipation from task links rejected by task time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
This is really
nice. They all have the same approach. We update the budget of the anticipated event, which is the belief, and then this is the generating the negative part. For each expired anticipation task in task links, we generate a 0 frequency matching event with high priority, and we just add it to the task links.
Nice. So, this is really nice.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Too easy.
Yeah, it's kind of too easy, isn't it?
What do we forget?
Now I see why you want to have this on task tab.
This anticipation task, yeah.
Great. This is really nice.
And the thing is that this anticipation task, it never actually leaves this concept. It never goes anywhere else. It's purely internal to the concept, but it gets processed in a unified way with all the rest of the tasks.
This is really nice. I'm impressed.
Good.
Should we? I mean, we might as well just add it to the Nazi's input as well, right?
No, because it isn't. It never comes in as Nazi's input. It's only internal to the task. It gets generated here within the concept, goes in the task bag, and it only gets the fact that it never actually comes into a concept as a task. It goes directly into the task link bag. So this in fact,
one, yeah,
that is kind of superfluous actually, because it goes directly into the task link bag here. But once it's in the task link bag, it just gets treated like a task. So we can rank it and select it and update its budget, etc. In terms of the details around its budget, I think that it's nice that an anticipation task can have a budget, because that can determine how important it is that we actually confirm this particular event.
This is really nice because of this selection and because it could also be busy with other tasks and
exactly, and it will deal with multiple anticipations for the same task correctly as well, because it will find the one that's most relevant for the current time.
This is really nice.
Okay, cool. That's just way too easy.
And we've resolved the problem with trying to put anticipation into the temporal concept.
Okay. So what I'll do is I will just update. Well, I guess it's only belief, isn't it? I just need to update belief with those additional pieces. Oh, where gone? Sorry, wrong one. With these, so I need to add both this and this to
the belief.
Belief. And that was it.
Great, nice. Then we're finished.
Okay. That was very short, wasn't it? Actually, it's nearly 40 minutes already. So, Jared, any questions from you?
Nope.
I mean, I'm happy to spend time on anything if you didn't get it all.
No, it's all pretty
either this or the other bit. Okay. Yeah, I quite like this. This is quite clean, and I like the way the anticipation actually just slots in and becomes part of the unified principle of how everything is dealt with now.
This is really nice.